Hey guys, it's Sarah Lewis from Mixed Fitness, and today we are talking about the inner thighs. I've been asked by a few people recently if they can do exercises for their inner thighs. And yes, I can show you an exercise that's popular for your inner thighs, but I also want to give you some reasons why you actually may not want to strengthen your inner thighs. So one of the popular exercises to strengthen or to tone your inner thighs is a side lying exercise, which I'll show you now. You'll often see this exercise in group exercise classes where you're squeezing that bottom leg up. Because if you do that enough, you're going to feel that bottom leg, you'll feel your inner thighs working. So therefore you think, well, I'm going to get really strong inner thighs, I'm going to tone up those muscles, I'll have less fat there. And that's not necessarily true, because in order to get rid of fat, of course, you have to be eating properly to get rid of the fat there. So there's also reasons why, for example, I wouldn't give my clients inner thigh exercises. And one is just the function in general of the inner thighs. The function of the inner thighs when you're walking is to actually stabilize the legs. So we walk forward like so and backward like so. So none of this movement happens when we walk. We don't walk side to side. So the inner thighs really, in functional purposes, are to stabilize the legs and hips. So exercises like lunges, any single leg exercises, so lunges, for example, like so, even a single leg deadlift, those sorts of exercises, you may not feel the inner thighs working in those exercises, however they are stabilizing the leg because that is their function in those exercises. Another reason that I may not give a client inner thigh exercises is because they may not need to strengthen those muscles. They may already be too tight or too pulled in that direction to start with. If you watched the video about the posture assessment, we talked about pelvis position. So I'm just going to turn to the side here so you can see me. If you have too much curve in your lower back, it means your pelvis is rotated forward like that. Okay, so instead of being in a neutral position, your pelvis is rotated forward, and you can watch the video. I'll put up a link to that other video to assess if you have too much curve in your lower back. When you have too much curve in your lower back, when your pelvis tilts forward, you can actually see that the inner thighs turn in. So if you're watching this area here, if I tilt my pelvis forward, the inner thighs roll in towards each other. So if you really exaggerate that movement, tuck your pelvis forward, the inner thighs turn in. So we actually want to get out of that posture if you are in that posture. So strengthening those muscles is just going to pull you further into that posture. It's going to create knee problems and/or foot and ankle problems if you don't have them already. So that would be an example of why I would not give inner thigh strengthening exercises to a client. They are appropriate for some, but not for all. So next time you want to work on your inner thighs, just maybe ask your personal trainer if it's appropriate for you first. And we'll see you next time.